Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions. Thank you again for our time together. I want to just share a little word of warning for young pastors and young leaders today. Because too often as you get older, you look around and you see what could have been, and you now see what is instead because of bad decisions. Elisha served as a servant to Elisha and received a double anointing. Gehazi served as Elisha's servant. But rather than seek a double anointing, rather than seek a double anointing for ministry, he had his attention focused on money. And so he took advantage of Naaman. And I often teach young pastors what happens when you get a greedy preacher around thankful people. Naaman was very grateful and very thankful for the miracle in his life, and Gehazi took advantage of him and probably even said, "See, this is the blessing of the Lord. He gave me double what I asked for. This means God is in it." But he wasn't. Gehazi was just taking advantage of somebody's thankfulness to God, and he exploited him financially. Because of that, leprosy came upon his life. Now, most scholars believe that Gehazi was one of the 4 lepers later that came and told the king about the Syrians being routed in the night. And now the story picks up in 2 Kings chapter 8, verse 3. At the end of the 7 years, when the woman returned from the land of the Philistines, she went to appeal to the king for her house and her land. Now the king was talking to Gehazi. Gehazi was a leper, probably one of the 4 lepers that realized the Syrians had departed. He was talking with Gehazi, the servant of the man of God, saying, "Tell me all the great things Elisha has done." I want you to notice, because of his greed, because of his corruption, all Gehazi had were the stories of the past. He could have been a great prophet of God. He could have done great things for God. Can you imagine? He could have had a double anointing from Elisha, who had a double anointing of Elijah. But instead, he was corrupt, and he was just in it for money himself, and he exploited the grateful hearts of people for miracles God had done for them. So now, all he had was the ability to tell the stories of the past. Now he still basked in a little bit of that glory, but he was a leper, so he had to be kept at a distance from the king. But all he had left were the stories of the past. I see so many young pastors. They come up, God begins to use them, they see some great things, but then because of the corruption of money, you look around 10, 15, 20 years later, all you see is stories of the past. Young people, keep your focus on ministry and not on money. God will provide.